So yeah, this is my boy Kyle. Maybe one day I'll have him on stream, but I have to not be a fucking political gnat first, which means y'all gotta subscribe to me. But anyway, so breaking: Israel massacres 400 women and infants burned alive, and he posted this about 9 hours ago, maybe 10 hours, somewhere in that range.
It's absolutely horrifying. All right, guys, I got some gigantic breaking news for you, and it's absolutely horrifying. So as you all know, Trump and Netanyahu basically created a fake ceasefire. And I warned you guys about that from the beginning. Netanyahu was very publicly saying, like, oh, the U.S. told us, like, we can go right back to doing what we were doing before. This is basically a fake ceasefire. We're just virtue signaling, like, we got a temporary truce. But in reality, we don't. The reason we know it's a fake ceasefire is because during literally phase one of the deal, Israel killed over 100 Palestinians. So it's not much of a ceasefire if you're not ceasing to fire. So we all knew.
Yeah. So about that, there, if you say you're gonna agree to stop shooting babies, you probably should stop shooting babies. I mean, I don't think a little baby that like just came out of the vajayjay about 10 minutes ago. I don't think they're Hamas. I mean, I know that's a controversial opinion. That babies that were just born like 5 minutes ago aren't fucking Hamas. But then again, we are a country full of regards that think that a 10-year-old with brain cancer is Tren de Aragua. It's very disgraceful, very fucking shameful, and this country will... But I don't know. Because we don't look at what we did in the Japanese internment era as really all that bad. But we do acknowledge the fact that the Holocaust was pretty bad for Germany. It's almost like when we do essentially ethnic cleansing and genocide, it's okay, but when other countries do it, that's not okay.
It was like this PR bullshit move, and we told you that from the beginning. Well, guess what? Now they decided to put the genocide in overdrive. And last night, they opened the gates of hell on Gaza and effectively bombed them to smithereens. Now, as you all know, this is after a very extensive period of genocide in the first place. A total siege, no food, no fuel, no water, no electricity, being let in there, starving them relentlessly. That happened for at least the past 2 months now. People are malnourished. People are dying from disease. You have just these absolute horror stories of people having legs amputated and arms amputated without any anesthesia because Israel's blocking the anesthesia from getting in there. I mean, you all know how many hospitals have they bombed, how many schools have they bombed, how many UN buildings have they bombed. Shit, how many food aid workers have they bombed? The World Central Kitchen people, they bombed them multiple times. But some people were hopeful, like, okay, maybe they're sort of wrapping this thing up because they had the virtue signal ceasefire agreement. So, of course, as per usual, Israel violated it relentlessly. And last night, listen to this. This may be the single worst day of bombing and atrocities since the beginning. Massacre at 2 a.m.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But I don't know what was Israel's first attack against Gaza. Oh no, this is recently. I'm not gonna find anything, but with how relentless Israel has been against Gaza, I highly doubt that 400 is the worst they've ever done. I know it's pretty bad, but I'm pretty sure they did raids that killed way more than that. Still not justifying it, but still, like, it's cowardly. Like, I'm supposed to stand with Israel, and this is what I'm standing with: burning children alive. Like,
and
fuck
Israel
outta
resumes
here.
indiscriminate attacks against Gaza, killing over 400 people. This is in one day, including scores of infants and small children. Guys, when I tell you, I was scrolling through my Twitter feed, and it was just one baby who was murdered after another baby who was murdered. You could see the dust from the buildings on them and the blood coming off their head, and you could see the lifeless body. And I mean, we're talking babies, we're talking toddlers, we're talking children. It is one of the most grotesque and gruesome things I've ever seen in my life. And this was all completely and utterly predictable. And then Yahoo was broadcasting to the world, oh, Trump is going to let us go right back in there and do whatever the fuck we want. And so we're just going to pretend and virtue signal like we got a ceasefire here for a little bit. And then not only are we going to steal Gaza, as Trump says the U.S. is going to own Gaza, but also...
Yep. Trump wants to make Gaza prime real estate. He wants to, make it a place where, I don't know, if you're Israeli, you can probably go over there and do a thing. You can seize houses and burn the shit to the ground because that fucking makes sense. Hey, this house is mine now. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna burn it down. So it's technically nobody's now. If I can't have it, neither can you, you dirty Muslim Arab freak. Like, this is basically what they're fucking doing.
They're moving on the West Bank.
It makes no sense, but then again, genocide in general doesn't fucking make sense, and you're really fucking pathetic if you expect me to support this shit.
Deployed in the West Bank. They also want to annex the West Bank. Right now, as we speak, they're...
Like, I'm literally borderline posting what the Trump administration would call pro-Hamas propaganda on my fucking blue sky, because I literally do not give a fuck how it... Like, I will literally sleep with the Hamas leader. I literally will fuck the Hamas leader. I will literally literally make supper. I will make dinner for the leader of Hamas. And if I could, I would carry their babies.
Stealing southern Syria up to Damascus. Also, last night, we had bombing not only in Gaza, there was bombing in Lebanon and Syria as well. And so, think of all of that going on at the same time the U.S. is relentlessly bombing Yemen. And Trump came out and said, hey, if the Houthis retaliate against us, we're just going to count that as Iran attacking us. They are gearing up for war with Iran, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So more, this is from Dropsite News. An Australian medic, Mohammed Mustafa, describes the aftermath of last night's attacks at the Baptist Hospital in Gaza City. So they attacked yet another hospital. They've attacked over 20 hospitals since the beginning of this. Quote, it was just mostly women and children burned head to toe. Limbs missing, heads missing. We've run out of ketamine, propofol, all painkillers. We can't sedate, can't give anesthesia. We intubate, and people wait.
But does Israel have the right to exist? You don't think Israel should have the right to burn babies alive, and with their screams piercing the room, piercing the air, baby screams as they burn alive to ash? But Lincoln Riley and everything, God forbid one American woman gets her shit burned alive, and now we gotta deport all immigrants. But it's okay for Israel to fucking burn women and children alive from head to toe. But does Israel have the right to exist? No. You know what? I'll go on record and say no. No. Neither should the United States. The Palestinians basically took these people in after the Holocaust. Is like, since everybody hates you, you can stay here. We'll protect you. We'll be your friend. And then the Nakba happened. Just in the same way, fucking Native Americans here fucking taught us how to grow crops using, I think it was fish bones, and then we thanked them by genociding them and raping their women and everything like that. Yeah, no. I don't care if you think it's anti-Semitic to say Israel should. No. Netanyahu needs to step the fuck down. The borders of Israel need to be dissolved. And the land needs to be handed back to the Palestinians. I am full land back on this one.
Wake up choking. No sedation. 7 girls are getting their legs amputated without anesthesia. He says the bombing hasn't stopped since 1:30 a.m., with screams echoing everywhere and the smell of burnt flesh still filling the air. I want to repeat, Australian medic gave that update. Now, what we're looking at here is war crimes.
I can't even finish watching
Trump's a war criminal. The International Criminal Court literally has an arrest warrant for Benjamin Netanyahu for war crimes. And you would think at a moment when it is so crystal clear what's going on that, the media in the U.S. would maybe catch up to it, right, and take it seriously and report it accurately. Well, let me give you a little taste of how the media in the U.S. is reporting it. Ready? This is from CNN. Israel says it's conducting extensive strikes against Hamas in Gaza, as we have video after video and evidence piling on top of evidence that these are women and children and infants. And they say, ready? Throwing doubt on the fragile ceasefire. First of all, like I told you from the beginning, it was a fake ceasefire. If you paid attention, you knew that was the case. They already killed 11 people in phase 1 of the fucking.
It was never. There was no fucking ceasefire. It was a stunt by Trump to get the Muslims to rally around him. That's what it fucking was. To further brainwash our Muslim population into thinking that they supported the right man. They got the ceasefire. Allahu Akbar. Meanwhile, any Muslim that sat out the election or voted for Trump because the Biden administration, you are an enemy of Palestine. If you voted for Trump because the Biden administration was really, really bad on Palestine, which I'll give that to you. But if you voted for Trump because he was really, really bad on Palestine, you better never, ever tell your family back in Palestine. Never. Your Gazan relatives, if they ever are able to resume contact with you, if they're still alive. Your relatives from the West Bank, if they're still... You can never tell them you supported Trump. Because I'm pretty sure they're not stupid. I'm pretty sure they know what Trump was saying. We're gonna deport the pro-Hamas radicals. We're gonna turn Gaza into beachfront property. They will view you as their enemy. I feel like disowning your children is against Islam. But if you told your parents that you supported the guy that destroyed, that fucking gave Israel the green light to factory reset Gaza, I'm relatively certain they would disown you. They would fucking disown you. They would disown you. Like, you have failed them if you supported this man. You failed your own family if you supported this man. So yeah, no. This douchebag, and like, I don't even know what to say, you guys. You failed. This guy, this man, this genocidal freak is not only not ending the conflict between Israel and Palestine, he is egging it on and attacking Hezbollah ships. Oh, but they're terrorist organizations. Anybody who fights back against their own oppressors is considered a fucking terrorist. Shut the fuck up, you fucking dumbass. We have way more terrorists here. Like, I'm sorry, but terrorism is violence in pursuit of a political aim. That means everything the United States has done is terrorism. So shut the fuck up. Murdering and raping native populations in order to steal their land is a political act. It is a war act. War is foreign policy. Foreign policy is politics. The United States engaged in political violence, violence in pursuit of a political aim. That is the definition of terrorism. The United States military is probably the biggest terrorist organization on the planet. When you go to an LGBT group with guns, calling the attendees there groomers and child abusers, that is terrorism. We have so many... When you burn a cross dressed up in a Klan robe on the property of a black person, that is intimidation in pursuit of a political aim. You are trying to scare that black family out of that property because of your political beliefs that they are somehow inferior to you. That is violence in pursuit of a political aim. That's terrorism. The Ku Klux Klan is a terrorist organization. The Proud Boys are a terrorist organization. The U.S. military is a terrorist organization. So get the fuck out of here about how Hamas and Hezbollah and Al-Qaeda are terrorist organizations. Get the fuck out of here. What are you gonna do, the United States Department of Homeland Security? Are you gonna come arrest me? I have a grandparent who fought in the Union Army. My family predates yours here, clearly. If you think that the United States is meant to be racist and disgusting and a death cult, you clearly have not, your family has clearly not been in this country long enough to know what the fuck it's about. If anything, Trump, you should be deported. If anything, Elon Musk, you should be deported. If anything, the terrorist organizations that are within our own borders should be cracked down upon. And the terrorist organization known as the U.S. military should be cut and dismantled and defunded. But are you ever going to do that? No. 'Cause you love terrorism. As long as it's in favor of the American people. Or, sorry, I should just say the white cisgender Christian ones. Your approval rating's tanking. And if you think, oh, fuck the polls, do you believe markets? You think markets? You see, Warren Buffett said, I don't know, I could be butchering this quote, but in the short term, the stock market is a voting machine. And in the long term, I forget what the other part of that was, but in the short term, it's a voting machine. You vote with your dollars. I'm pretty sure that with the fact that Elon Musk's company tanked 50% since December alone, I'm pretty sure that poll counts. Don't you think? Yeah. And with that, I bid y'all farewell. Thank you for watching. You can follow me on X at QMatriarch, Blue Sky at KikiRose420.bsky.social or bluesky.social or bsky, whatever the fuck you want to say. YouTube, I am at MichaelaRose420. Same thing with Twitch. You can catch my show every Tuesday, tous les mardis, 7 p.m. or to 9 p.m. 9 o'clock p.m. So subscribe, abonne, make sure you hit the like so you can get the notifications that when I go live. Lorsque j'allais en direct, you can see me perform my stunts on how much I hate America, and you can also support with a tip for $1 at my Streamlabs /Michaela Rose 421 4201, just to be clear, /tip, show your support. Show me that you love me. Show me that you appreciate me, and you want me to be successful. Guys. All right, I'm done with this narcissistic outro. Just follow me on socials, love me, and everything, and that was pretty bad still. Anyway, bye. Get out.